Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
The layman can see that if the United States didn't fund this genocide, it wouldn't happen. That after even 1 week of Israeli bombardment, they need to refuel, they need to replenish their stocks. And it is only because the people of America are funding this thing that Israel can continue doing what it is doing. It is time that the people of America wake up and say do more than they're doing now, in order to say we shall not allow this to be done in our name, and then stop their government from funding this genocide.
Well, the bombs that the Israeli aggressors are dropping on Palestinian men, women, and children are US bombs, are bombs made primarily in the US, and the US has just approved a $20 billion military package to Israel, and another one on top of the enormous amounts of money that they have given to Israel this year. So if the US wasn't funding this genocide, it wouldn't be happening at the scale that it is. The US is guilty. Genocide Joe and whatever president that they vote in, they are going to carry on these kind of actions.
On November 29th, solidarity demonstrations were held around the world for Palestine. In South Africa, the COSATU, the Congress of South African Trade Unions, and the South African Federation of Trade Unions joined protests at U.S. consulates and embassy to protest the U.S. arming and support of the Israeli genocide in Gaza. Solly Petoe, the Deputy General Secretary of COSATU, and Martin Jansen of the Palestine Solidarity Movement spoke at the rally at the U.S. consulate in Capetown, South Africa.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! The state of Israel, Palestine! The apartheid state of Israel, Palestine! The state of apartheid of Israel, Palestine! Thank you very much, Comrade Chair. Let me acknowledge the leadership of all the organizations that are here and say to you, on behalf of COSATU 1.6 million, we support the free of Palestine. And we are here because today, the 29th of November, there's an annual solidarity support of the people of Palestine. And I'm sure, I want to make sure that I don't repeat what other people have spoken or they've said. Our call here is that Palestine must be free.
Yes. Yes.
Palestine must be free.
Yes.
I heard people saying Palestine will be free. As COSATU are saying Palestine must be free.
Yes.
We are not saying it will be. We are saying US free the Palestine, free the Gaza people, stop supporting genocide, stop funding genocide, make sure that the people of Palestine are free. And the only way that we can do that, comrades, is when we are united as the organization. It's when we make sure that we intensify our mobilization. The Central Committee of COSATU 3 days ago, we took a resolution that we are going to mobilize trade unions globally, but also to boycott companies that associate with US. I'm repeating it. Boycott companies or anything that is associated with Israel, like Woolworths.
Yes.
We are here to say we must also call for the government of South Africa to intensify the fight. There's a warrant of arrest. We call in for the warrant of arrest that must be prosecuted with immediate effect for Benjamin, the Prime Minister, including the Minister. If we see them here in our land or elsewhere, where we are able to coordinate and talk to our comrades outside the country, they must be arrested with immediate effect. Now, as COSATU, we are here. We are not going to push around Comrade Malvern with your team. We must intensify the campaign. Comrade, if we don't intensify this campaign, these people will not listen. Today, the austerity measures, the neoliberal imperialist in our government is coming from this house. Yes. People of South Africa are not able to get food. They are not able to, the cost of living is very high. Yes. There is a job declaration. People are retrenched because of this house. And I agree with those comrades who said we must remove that thing. That consulate general that must remove it. It must be Palestine, and the people of South Africa must leave this house. On that note, because I'm told that the memorandum must be handed at 11 o'clock. We are here, comrade. We will continue to work together and support the people of Palestine. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Okay, comrades, we made our voices heard. We've handed over the memorandum. Just to say from this whole experience and their paranoia about us, 3 of us going into that building, it is clear that they fear us. Despite the fact that this is the most powerful imperialist force in the world in history, they feared us going in there. They didn't even let us pass the security going inside. They kept us there at the door. And that indicates their fear of us. So the point is, comrades, they fear us. They are our enemies. We need to keep up the pressure. The most powerful thing we have is ourselves, is our unity. So boycotts, divestments, sanctions to put pressure on Israel and the USA. That is what we need to do. Comrades, also just to inform you that we're working with several political parties to get legislation passed. It's called the Apartheid Convention Bill. And what it means that any person, any country, any business, anywhere in the world, including South Africa, who practices apartheid can be prosecuted. And that includes the USA in our country. So we're working on that. The other thing we are doing, we are trying to pressurize, in fact, for the past decade, the National Prosecuting Authority, the Hawks, to ensure that young South African Zionists who serve the Israeli occupation forces are prosecuted and jailed. Why is it that our state institutions are failing in that regard when we've given them all the evidence? And they're doing virtually nothing. They are not abiding by the law. They're not obeying their public mandate. And again, comrades, we're asking you to keep up the pressure like we did, was it 2 weeks ago, when we protested at the NPA and they met with us again and made promises. So comrades, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Let's keep up the pressure, but let's also mobilize others in our communities. Let's start PSC branches in every community so that we become a real massive mass movement of pressure like we did against the apartheid regime in the 1980s, and we succeeded in liberating ourselves. Thank you, comrades. Amandla!